Good morning, guys. I'm sure you're sad that Ivan is over, as am I. However, if you remember, I took a break from Ivan maybe 2 weeks ago or a week and a half ago to read you one of the stories out of Julian's world and the stories that Julian tells. And today I want to read to you the next story. So if you remember, the last one was about lemon pudding, and we were talking about literary language and how authors use certain words in order to make us feel certain things. Today, what I want you to notice, and I will point it out, not only do authors use certain words to tell us about, to have us know something, but they also will make the way their words look different in the book. And I want to give you an example. So this is the story that I read to you last time. And there's this is when Dad found out that they had eaten the pudding and he was looking for them. And the author says, "We felt like two leaves in a storm." And then the next words are all in capital letters. "Where are you?" I said. My father's voice was booming. Why do you think the author put those in capital letters like that? And what do you think the intention was? What do you think Anne, our author, wanted us to do when we saw those words? Right? She wanted us to say them loud and kind of sound angry like the dad. So sometimes the author uses particular ways that they put things on the paper in order to make us use things, do things a certain way. It reminds me of Ivan, and I'm trying to find it quickly here. When Ivan got to the first time he walked outside, and here it is. Let's see. The first time he walked outside and the author wrote her page this way, and it says "outside at last." Do you remember that? And it's a list poem, right? So the author really wanted us to think about the way we were reading that. So authors do that quite often. Let's see if there's anything in this next chapter. Catalog cats. "Would you boys like to plant a garden?" my father said. "Yes," we said. "Good," said my father. "I'll order a catalog." So it was settled. But afterwards, Huey said to me, "What's a catalog?" "A catalog," I said, "is where cats come from. It's a book full of pictures of hundreds and hundreds of cats. When you open it up, all the cats jump out and start running around." "I don't believe you," Huey said. "It's true," I said. "But why would Dad be sending for a catalog cat book?" "The cats help with the garden," I said. "I don't believe you," Huey said. "It's true," I said. "You open the catalog and the cats jump out. Then they run outside and work in the garden. White cats dig up the ground with their claws. Black cats brush the ground smooth with their tails. Yellow and brown cats roll on the seeds to push them underground so that they can grow." "I don't believe you," Huey said. "Cats don't act like that." "Of course," I said. "Ordinary cats don't act like that." Do you see that picture in the front? There's the catalog cats. "That's why we have to get special catalog cats." "Really?" Huey said. "Really," I said. "I'm going to ask Dad about it," Huey said. "You ask Dad about everything," I said. "Don't you think it's time you learn something on your own for a change?" Huey looked hurt. "I do learn things by myself," he said. "I wonder when the catalog will come." "Soon, I say." The next morning, Huey woke me up. "I dreamed about catalog cats," he said. "Only in my dream, the yellow and brown ones were washing the windows and painting the house. You don't suppose they could do that, do you?" "No, they can't do that, Huey," I said. "They don't have a way to hold rags and paintbrushes." "I suppose not," Huey said. Every day, Huey asked my father if the catalog had come. "Not yet," my father kept saying. He was very pleased that Huey was so interested in the garden. Huey dreamed about the catalog cats again. A whole team of them was carrying a giant squash to the house. One had his teeth around the stem. The others were pushing it with their shoulders on their heads. I think that's what's in the picture. Yeah. If you look closely, that's there's the picture of that, what they're talking about. One had teeth around its stem. The others were pushing it with their shoulders and their heads. "Do you think that's really what they do, Julian?" Huey said. "Yeah, they do that," I said. 2 weeks went by. Well, Huey and Julian, my father said, today is the big day. The catalog is here. The catalog is here. The catalog is here. The catalog is here, Huey said. He was dancing and twirling around. I was thinking about going someplace else. What's the matter, Julian? My father said. Don't you want to see the catalog? Oh, yes, I want to see it, I said. My father had the catalog under his arm. The three of us sat down on the couch. Open it, Huey said. My father opened the catalog. Inside were bright pictures of flowers and vegetables. The catalog company would send you the seeds and you could grow the flowers and the vegetables. Huey started turning the pages faster and faster. Where are the cats? Where are the cats? He kept saying. What cats? My father said. Huey started to cry. My father looked at me. Julian, he said, please tell me what's going on. Huey thought catalogs were books with cats in them. Catalog cats, I said. It's a great picture. There's a lot going on in that picture, isn't there? Huey sobbed. Julian told me special cats, cats that work in our gardens, white ones that dig up dirt, black ones, they brush the ground with their tails, yellow and brown ones, they roll on the seeds. Excuse me. Huey was crying harder than ever. Julian, my father said. Yes, I said. When my father's voice gets loud, mine gets small, so small I can only whisper. Julian, my father said. Didn't you tell Huey that the catalog cats are invisible? No, I said. Julian told me they jumped out of the catalogs. He said they jump out and work in the gardens. As soon as you get the catalog, they go to work. Well, said my father, that's very ignorant. Ooh, ignorant. That is a good word to add to our word collector book. Ignorant. I'm going to put that in. That's very ignorant. Ignorant means not very smart. Julian has never had a garden before in his life. I wouldn't trust a person who has never had a garden in his life to tell you about catalog cats, would you? No, Huey said slowly. He was still crying a little. My father pulled out his handkerchief and gave it to Huey. Now, blow your nose and listen to me, my father said. We're going to pause right there so I can get ignorant in my butt. Ignore-ant. You would like to add that to your book, whoop, there it is, ignorant. You may grab your book and do that. You can always pause me. Huey blew his nose, sat up straight on the couch. I sat back and tried to be as small as I could. First of all, said my father, a lot of people have wasted a lot of time trying to see catalog cats. It's a waste of time because catalog cats are the fastest animal alive. No one is as quick as a catalog cat. It may be that they really are visible and that they just move so quickly that we can't see them, but you can feel them. When you look for a catalog cat over your right shoulder, you can feel that he is climbing the tree over your left ear. When you turn fast to look up at the tree, you can feel that he jumped out and landed behind your back. And then sometimes you feel all the little hairs on your backbone quiver. That's when you know a catalog cat is laughing at you and telling you that you are wasting your time. Catalog cats love gardens, and they do love to work in gardens. However, they will only do half the work. If they do all the garden, if they are in a garden where people don't do any work, the catalog cats will not do any work either. But if they are in a garden where people work hard, all the work will go twice as fast because of the catalog cats. Do you have catalog cats in your garden? When you were a boy, did you have a garden? Huey said. And did you have catalog cats? Oh, yes, my father said. My garden had catalog cats. Were they your friends? Huey said. Well, said my father, they like people, but they move too fast to make friends. There's one more thing, my father said. Catalog cats aren't in garden catalogs, and no one can order catalog cats. Catalog cats are only around the companies the catalogs come from. You don't order them, you request them. I can write up a request, I said. Huey can do that very well, I'm sure, my father said, if he would like to. Would you like to, Huey? Huey said he would. My father got a piece of paper and a pencil, and Huey wrote it all down. Requested 12 catalog cats, all varieties. Whoever wants to come is welcome. Okay, I have to show you a couple of things. Okay, so the author used special... Okay, let's see. Can you see that? Yes, okay. Right there, where it says, there's one more thing my father said. Catalog cats aren't in garden catalogs, and no one can order catalog cats. The word in is in something we call italics. It means the letters are tipped to the side and just a little, they look different than the other letters. Can you see that? Okay. The reason authors do that is because they want you to, well, did you hear how I read it? I'm going to read it again. Catalog cats aren't in garden catalogs, so they want you to emphasize that word. They want you to notice it and maybe give it a little bit more power when you're reading. Okay, and there's another one on this page. Let's see. So this jumps over. Catalog cats are only around the companies the catalogs come from. You don't order them, you request them. So you see around is also in italics. Okay, and then the author did something else on the last part of this page. If you remember, it said that Huey is going to write what he wants. So there you can see that doesn't look like the writing of earlier, right? It looks like Huey actually got his pencil out and wrote it. Now, why do you think the author did that? What do you think the author was just trying to do for us? Couple of reasons. First of all, when the author does something like that, it makes their book a little bit more interesting, especially to readers like you who are at your age, who are looking for interesting things to read, right? When you see something like that, you're like, that looks kind of like what my writing looks like. I want to read this book. So that's one reason. The other reason is the author's really trying to get you to understand that Huey is young and maybe is more like you or more like your younger brother or sister. So they just want you to notice those things, and they want you to just kind of have, and also the author's trying to have some fun, right? She's like, oh, well, if Huey wrote it, this is what it would look like. I want to add another word to my book. Now, this is not a word that I saw in the book, but it's a word that I just told you about. And it's what those words were written in. They were written in italics. Okay, so let me see if we can figure out how to spell that. Let's first clap it. Italics. So it's got 3 syllables. So here's what I know about italics. It starts with the letter I. Okay, so it kind of could sound like an E, but it's I-T-A-L. That's the middle syllable. Tal-ix. I-C-S. Okay, so italics. Boy, I didn't write that very neatly. Okay, so italics, that's when an author will use like words slanted a little bit because they want you to notice those words and maybe give them a little bit different inflection. There's another good word, inflection, tone of voice when you're reading it, okay? So that's all we're going to add for today. That's all I have for you today. I hope you enjoyed the Catalog Cats story. I have several more stories in this, so we will find out what happens. The next chapter is called Our Garden. Have a good day, guys. Bye.